All right, let's talk about something that comes up all the time. Can you have a drink when you're trying to conceive? It's one of those topics where everyone seems to have an opinion, right? So today we're going to cut through all that noise and get straight to what the science actually says. So, this is the big one. Can you drink alcohol while trying to get pregnant? You've probably heard it all from, oh, a glass of wine here and there is totally fine, to you have to stop like yesterday. So what's the real story? Let's dive into what the data shows us. The social debate around this can get pretty heated online. But what's really important to understand is where the scientific community stands on all this. Because when we're talking about alcohol during an actual pregnancy, the conversation is pretty much over. And on this point, the science is just crystal clear. Major studies all come to the same conclusion. There is no known safe amount of alcohol you can drink during pregnancy. The risk to a baby's brain development is just too high. So once you've got that positive test, the only safe advice is complete abstinence. But what about that really crucial time before you even get pregnant? Okay, so now we're shifting gears from pregnancy itself to that trying to conceive phase. And this is where that casual drink, which feels so normal in our culture, has a direct biological impact. It really all boils down to one powerful word: inflammation. So here's what's really going on inside your body when you have a drink. Your system basically treats alcohol like a toxin. As your body processes it, it can actually damage the lining of your gut. I want you to think of it like a little crack in a fortress wall. It's that damage that kicks off a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation that spreads throughout your entire body. You can literally see the domino effect right here. It all starts with that one drink, and it sets off this whole chain reaction. And that inflammation, it doesn't just stay put in your gut. Oh no, it sends these confusing smoke signals all the way up to your brain's central command station. And here is the real kicker. Your hypothalamus, which is basically your body's fertility mission control, is constantly reading signals from your body to decide if it's a safe time to release an egg. But when it gets flooded with all these inflammatory signals, it gets confused. It might not send out the crucial hormones needed for ovulation. And it's simple, really. No ovulation means no chance of pregnancy that month. So, we've covered the biological how this all works inside your body. Now let's shift to the hard data and see what this actually looks like for people out there in the real world trying to start a family. So what's the number? What's the threshold that major population studies keep pointing to? It's 3. Just 3 drinks a week. I know it might not sound like a lot, but this is the point where researchers start to see a really significant, measurable impact on fertility. So what does that actually look like? Well, having 3 or more drinks a week is directly linked to these outcomes. It takes longer to get pregnant, you have a lower chance of conceiving in any given month, and there's a higher risk of not even ovulating at all. The data on this is just incredibly consistent. And listen, this isn't just about trying to conceive naturally, and it's definitely not just about the female partner. The impact is huge when it comes to fertility treatments like IVF, and it absolutely involves both partners. Just look at the difference here. It's pretty stark. Studies on IVF show that if either partner has any alcohol in the month leading up to a cycle, the results can be dramatically worse. We're talking fewer healthy embryos and, most importantly, significantly lower live birth rates. This quote from fertility expert Dr. Natalie Crawford just puts it all into perspective. IVF is this enormous investment, financially, physically, emotionally. When you think about everything that's at stake, the data really suggests that alcohol just introduces a risk that isn't worth taking. And I'm going to say it again because it is just that important. Fertility is a team sport. The inflammatory effects from alcohol can actually harm the DNA inside both the egg and the sperm, so it's affecting the health and the quality of the very cells that you're counting on. Okay, so we've laid out all the science and all the data. But the point of this is not to scare you, not at all. It's to empower you. Because out of all the things that can feel so out of your hands on this journey, this is one of the few factors that is 100% within your control. And, alcohol rarely travels alone. It often kicks off this whole negative snowball effect. It messes with your sleep, which then jacks up your stress levels, which can lead to making poor food choices. It becomes this vicious cycle that can seriously undermine all the other good things you're trying to do for your health. But here is the absolute best news of all. This is not permanent. It's not. When you stop drinking, your body immediately starts to heal. Your gut can recover, the inflammatory burden goes down, and your hormones can start to re-regulate over just a few months. You really can reverse the impact. And making this change is honestly easier than it's ever been. A sparkling water with a twist of lime looks just like a cocktail, and the world of non-alcoholic beers and wines has totally exploded. And if anyone asks, a simple, "I'm just focusing on my health right now," is all you ever need to say. So at the end of the day, the data shows that while alcohol is a huge part of our social lives, it's also a really significant and controllable factor on the fertility journey. Understanding its true impact puts you squarely in the driver's seat. The choice and the power is all yours.